James Kaufman, World News Report today. Today is January 25th, 2025. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Ladies and gentlemen, how are y'all? It's cold and rainy here again. I'm about tired of this winter, for sure. Hope everyone out there is making it. And I expect that's about the best you could be doing these days. Now, Trump is fixing, and it's going to take some time for some of these fixes to show up. But I like what's going on, and I like the speed. I don't even mind speeding things up. Hope all y'all get involved and are a part of the solution and not the problem. Hey, Darlene. Hey, Em. How y'all doing? Y'all let me know if y'all can see these volcanoes and hear my voice so we can get to counting how many active volcanoes there are going off around the world according to volcanodiscovery.denmark, not according to James. I'm still waiting for all those apologies for me telling y'all that Joe Biden became a master mason at an African American Mason lodge, when in fact it did happen on the 21st of January. Goofball is now a master mason in a mainly African American lodge started by freed slaves in South Carolina. What a weird deal. Now, let me just say that Archbishop Vigiano, he's already come out with a statement on it. And it is not pretty, okay? It is not pretty. He does not like Joe Biden even a little bit. And he doesn't only mention the Masonic pledge that he took. He mentions all the other reasons that Joe Biden should be excommunicated. And he's got about 100 of them. Now, I'm not going to really go into his attack on Joe Biden. I don't think that's fair. I just think it's totally wild how Joe Biden became a master mason at an African American Masonic lodge. It's just a freak show. I guess he's done more for African Americans than anyone? No, he's done nothing for anyone. Anyway. Lots of people call me a liar. Lots of people told me that was CGI. I must have gotten 1,000. Oh, you're so full of crap. Don't you know that's an African American lodge? Oh, you're so full of this. Well, it is a fact. It did occur. Those were quotes right from Politico, and that was the swearing-in ceremony. Now, I don't know how the pictures were released because all that is supposed to be on the hush-hush, right? I don't think that he was a member of the lodge. How do you go from non-membership to Master Mason? It was an honorary appointment because of the great job, quote-unquote, they said it, not me, that Joe Biden did as president? Because I'm confused. Vigiani came out and today told Biden, he had some terrible things to say about Joe Biden. He said if he takes the communion, it's going to burn in hell. He's not allowed to take the communion if you're part of the Masonic rite, if you're Catholic, which Joe Biden claims to be a Catholic. Well, he's got a lot of other things that don't line up with Catholicism as well, right? I was raised Catholic, got Jewish blood in me, Catholic blood in me. I think all of us have both bloodlines in us. Well, there's some that don't get me wrong. But they mainly run countries or live in the Netherlands, right? Somebody thought they were going to teach me something. I always love it because after you've done 25,000 videos, I don't realize that's how many I've done. YouTube made me erase over 15,000. I know about the little plant in Finland that creates the smallest transitor in the world, and how every supercomputer has to get their transistors from that little plant, and everyone rides their bikes to that plant. Why is it in Finland? Why is there only one? Why hasn't the technology, since they sell it to China, why hasn't it been re-engineered? All we need is one of them, right? I don't know. It's a special something, but there's a company in that area there that actually, provides every part for supercomputers in the world. It's a really weird situation. All right, let's get to counting. Not a good president. Yeah, Vigiani, he tweeted today in English, so that was strange, but it was associated with Joe joining the Masonic Rite, also Joe's views on abortion, also Joe's views on this, that, and the other thing. They're not in line with Vigiani's views, maybe in line with the Pope's, but he doesn't consider the Pope part of the Catholic Church, and the Pope doesn't consider him part of the Catholic Church. I'm more likely to go with Vigiani than the Pope, based on what I've seen, LGBTQ, with a twist, right? With a twist. All right, Tiffany Hartman, what's 77 mean? All right, let me get going, guys. You're guessing how many volcanoes are going off. It was 77, Jerome's God's number, right? So, let me get to counting. Give me a second, and I'll figure it out. Hope you're okay, Tiff. Tried to call you earlier, didn't hear from you. We got a big count already going in. We got 5 going into the U.S. We got 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 37, 38 going into this mess. 39, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and let me see how I'm going to do this. 8, 9, 10, it's me 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. You know what that means, right? It means we're up to Tiffany wins, but it's 78. 78 volcanoes erupting currently. So that's going to be another all-time record. I can't really spot, except for down here. We have 3 now, right here. This is probably the area right here. See how we have 3 there? That made the difference. Right? I mean, we should all know this map, right? Remember, we've been all the way up from 39 to 78. I expect Yellowstone and the west coast of the United States to light up sooner rather than later, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we know it's the weekend. Canada doesn't work on the weekends. They work half day Tuesday, full day Wednesday, 3/4 of a day on Thursday. They work a 20 to 25 hour work week, like most countries. Well, not most countries, most Western European countries in the world, right? Because everywhere else, you got to work all day long to make it. But if you're like in Greece, your average work week is about 20 hours. And they all just live off the United States. That means they live off of me and you guys. Kind of like that lady pointing her finger today, saying that she hasn't been back to work since COVID. It looked like she hasn't done any work since COVID. What was she, 19 when she got the job? She's a bureaucrat. They have till February 10th to return to the office, and then they're fired. 5-day work weeks, no bullshit, no nothing. And she complained, it made me so mad because she complained about commuting and childcare. Don't you think that the whole U.S. has those two concerns, those exact two concerns? Now you have to deal with them? What are you, something special? Boy, I hope she gets fired and has to go get a real job. A real job, right? Lois, I told your friend, I've been in touch with her. I think it's best if she keeps the dog. Y'all just make sure y'all get it wormed every year so it doesn't die of worms. And that dog will, I could tell, he was at home there. And I'm just going to, I'll deal with the other part of the situation. You know what I mean? I'll deal with the other part of the situation. If anyone needs a job, only 8 out of 50 construction workers showed up on average to every job today and yesterday. And hey, that pays $20, $30 an hour right there. And there are construction sites all across America and agricultural sites all across America. We're not quite picking yet, so don't let them fool you. We're not planting either. But that will be active. Well, I see a lot of summer jobs at McDonald's and Chick-fil-A that were taken by, illegal aliens. They're not going to be going to work anymore. They're going to be hiding out until we get them. And I'm actually going to be starting to, I'm going to push an objective. I'm going to start locating them because I already know where they're located and start turning them in and seeing if ICE locally here will act upon it. If they don't act upon it, I'm going to contact Ken Paxton and Tom Horton, and we're going to see what we can get done about it. I've had enough. They took over my daughter's school and beat up all of her friends, and she's scared to go to school. We've had enough of it. I'm about to start pointing out problem houses. They're all so quiet. Their cars don't move now. They're living off of our social security systems, our welfare systems, our tax dollars. All of them are. All of them are. Their house rent, Section 8s, their food, everything they do is off of us. And it's not going to happen anymore here. I'm going to start actually helping ICE. And I want to put together a website where we actually shove out addresses where illegal aliens. It's so funny, this apartment complex here told me that they wouldn't work with ICE. I said, well, you're going to be breaking the law, and both of y'all should go to prison. Two Mexicans that are both heterosexuals, of course, and they're fighting the good fight. I hope they do about 10 years in prison. Keep fighting. Now, you'll notice that there's no new earthquakes in Canada. That's because, they don't work on the weekends. Only Americans work on the weekends, okay? Well, I don't even think, most of the time knowing NASA, if we got someone that comes in on a Sunday, it's a Christmas miracle. It's a Christmas miracle. The biggest earthquake on the planet, the poor Earth Master over there trying to make a big deal out of a 3.5. And all the ladies that give him a thumbs up, like 40 of them, I want to just shake them to death. Look, a 3.5 earthquake on a fault line that's well known is a big zero. It's not a hero. That means he's clickbaiting you. And I'm tired of it. Big, fat, well, the F word. Excuse me. So these are all in yellow, awakening volcanoes. Again, we only have one 5.1. And we're going to turn the 4s on and see what we have here. When we turn the 4s on, we have a lot of magma movement around Papua New Guinea into the Philippines. We have a swarm here in Taiwan, right where the two plate boundaries don't meet. If y'all are with me all the time, y'all know what that means. And then here, we've got some big 4s right around here, this big, huge caldera. And we have a 4 here. Same, it's in China, part of that caldera there. This in Miramar is a little bit hard to understand here, a 4 or 5. I don't know what's going on there. I know that this peninsula and all of Malaysia was pretty much built by that caldera right there. So, jumping over to Iran, I'm sure Greg's going to try to call this a missile test again. No, this is in a this is all magma flow. Do y'all see? This is not a missile test. This is not anything like that. You don't do underground nuclear missile tests in the middle of magma flow, which is most of Iran, by the way. Most of Iran. Remember, the volcanoes in yellow are awakening. If we get all those to awaken, we might be looking at 100. The peninsula in Russia is getting real active. The 4 plates here, North American Pacific. Gosh, now we have Tawada volcano right by Fukushima. That is so wild. So Fukushima is right in here. And we have another volcano awakening here and some more down here to the south. Remember, we have a new nuclear plant here, a new nuclear plant here, a new nuclear plant here. I mean, all the way around. We have 5 new nuclear plants between Shanghai, and you have to zoom in to see. Why would you have to zoom in to see the biggest city in the world, Hong Kong? But there it is. And then look at Taiwan. The plate ends there. It starts right there. And we're going to find out that Taiwan is a volcanic island. A volcanic island. The parasites are going by Felicia's. We say, Agent Campbell. We're going to get them all going, don't worry. A 4-4 endo. This is all magma movement. 4-2 endo, all magma movement. And then down in Oz, it's pretty quiet. No earthquakes, at least. We got a little something going on in New Zealand. I haven't turned them all on. You guys all know this is Zealandia here. Zealandia rising. And it really could go over to Papua New Guinea, and then it couldn't. So many plates that we don't know where they're going to end up, really. And that is Earth. You know what? Earth is alive, and the way it grows bigger is it's a volcano. The same with Mars. Mars got that big because it was a volcano. It grows and grows and grows, and as it grows, it probably is heavier and heavier and goes further outside or further away from the sun, out of the habitable zone. As it grows and grows, yes, it might take millions of years, but the sun feeds the earth, just like it feeds the trees. It feeds the earth. And the earth grows via volcanic eruption. The whole earth is expanding. All of these joints, well, a few are pushing together, but most all these joints are expanding. They're expanding because the earth, like Ms. Tiff said, it's alive and it's growing bigger and bigger, fatter and fatter. It's very small right now. It's got a long way to go. Look at all these awakening volcanoes down here. Herd volcano we've seen erupt before. Getting over here in Mexico City, this is right there, a 4-7 on the Cascadia subduction zone. And this is Mexico City down, a 4-1, a 4-0. That's Papatakeli or whatever. They're not sure. There's Papatakeli there. And this is all, Central America. That's going to be Guatemala, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela. We got a lot of action in Colombia, Ecuador, and all through Panama and, Nicaragua, Guatemala. This is all pouring PM 2.5 into the Central Plains, the deadliest particulate or air pollutant known to man. And then down here in our Peruvian-Chilean wedge, we've got a lot going on for finally. I was expecting, since there's 26,000 active volcanoes in this wedge, I would be expecting a lot more activity. But look what we've got. Looks like there's one behind this one. 5 erupting right now and 2 awakening. So that's probably the most active we've ever seen it. And that's on Tonga over there. We are gonna add them all. We're gonna be crazy and add them all. Trying to see if there's anything I missed that is sizable before we add them all, because it's about to get crazy. Look at that area. All right, remember this plate boundary right here between Syria and Turkey has formed, and all that energy is going into GNC. And look at these awakening volcanoes here in Italy, and that's going to be where the big earthquake that shakes the whole world, a 10.0 or 11.0. I don't think there is such thing. You know the difference between a 9.6, the biggest quake that we've ever seen, and a 9.7? The 9.7 would be 10 times stronger than the 9.6 that we saw off the coast of Chile. That was the biggest quake ever recorded. I did do a video on the top 10 quakes ever recorded. So if it's bigger than a 9.6, it'll break the record. If it's a 9.7, it'll be 10 times bigger than the 9.6. And that's that's going to be your tidal wave or tsunami or whatever you want to call it. We've got the Straits of Gibraltar acting up over here. Got a lot of plates that come through here that just don't connect anywhere. Got the Azores Islands trying to awaken a volcano here. Cape Verde trying to awaken a volcano. This is La Palma. It must be doing something, because we've got a 2.6 and a 2.9 here right on top of La Palma, which is, I believe, part of Spain. This is part of Portugal, and I'm not quite sure if Cape Verde is UK or who owns that. All right. Hey, Kelly JQ. That one in Alaska was an 8th. So we do have, is that going to be Spur? This is crazy. Spur has erupted 3 times in 29 years. This could be its 4th in 30 years. This is not going to be, Kalmaya, Mount Hayes, the famous one, Pat Price, where they changed the wiki in front of my camera, and I have it recorded when they got rid of the old Stargate project and replaced it with a new Stargate project. If y'all haven't seen that, someone gave a timestamp on it. It's unbelievable. The whole page changed live on us when I said there's no remnants of the old Stargate, and I typed in Pat Price. And what do we get? Pat showed up, the old Stargate showed up, and it disappeared and changed to the new AI Stargate in front of our very faces. last night in front of our very faces. It was a complete freak show, in my opinion. All right, these are all fracking. Not quite sure what's going on right there. This stuff's all volcanoes through here. I'll show you the PM 2.5 they're spewing. This is all the activity on the San Andreas versus the, well, Walker Lane fault line right here, right? We talked about this, and this was part of the Cascadia subduction zone. That's the Juan de Fuca plate being pushed under the North American plate here by the Pacific plate, forcing magma to the surface of the Cascades, which is Rainier, St. Helens, Adams, Hood, and then, well, we have Snake River first here, then we have Yellowstone here. Very little activity. We'll check the Yellowstone seismograms because Tiff's here. I know she's a Yellowstone fan, and we do have easy access to those, and it looks like there's a lot of activity. Where is number 5? Always to the, remember, northwest. 5, maybe 11, or is 11? They turned 11 off. Look how many of these are off. That does not send a good signal to me at all. And then when I look at 2, look where 2 is. And then I look at 2, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 earthquakes that are gone unreported. Whoa. So there's a lot going on in Yellowstone going unreported, period. All right, look at all the magma movement from Mexico City. That's Popocatépetl or whatever the hell you call it. All the magma movement coming through here. You know, all of our flights so far have gone to Nicaragua. All the flights. Guess what? We caught 1,300 illegal aliens today. And most of them are staying at home, which is not going to be good. Yes, they're living off our social welfare programs. Luckily, we know where they live, right? But you know what? We're going to have to get tough and start taking women and children, or it's not going to work out. They're going to always hide the man in some behind the wall hidden room or some crap. Everyone's got to go. If you didn't come here legally and you didn't take a citizenship test or get a visa or work permit, you've got to go. So pack your shit up and self-deport, or you're going to be going with just the clothes on your back. It's up to you. And I'm going to start personally going around and enforcing it, okay? I know in my neighborhood, and I'm sure you guys do too, where illegal aliens have moved in on Section 8s under Biden, the Biden regime's free for everyone except for Americans. No, nothing but a tent from FEMA for anyone in North Carolina or anywhere else struck by a disaster. He is the disaster. Let me assure you of that. And God says never to hate. Hey, Don, how are you? Don says never to hate, but I think I hate Joe Biden. I wonder if God will allow that. Wow, we've got Iceland really waking up. They've got about 20,000 volcanoes in that little area right there. But really waking up. This is Kilauea. We also have Mauna Loa not awakened, but Kilauea is going off. And Great Sitkin. And let's see. They're not giving me. Katmaya, and we talked about Spur and Hayes. If Hayes wakes up, boy, it's going to be crazy. Crazy stuff. Look how much red on this map there is. Just imagine. And they're making it, the U.S. Geological Service and the U.S. space agencies. Remember, we're supposed to be at a solar height or a solar maximum, there's been no solar flares in months. There's been no earthquakes in months. That's why these people that used to follow earthquakes and solar flares were reporting 3.5s, right? Because there's nothing happening. Nothing's happening. That's a real problem. I believe that they've turned down all the dials so that, well, they can control the narrative here. All right. That's the big one of the day. The 5.2 did come in as a 7. And we can see that we're actually swarming over Mount Hayes right there. There's Spur and there's the rest of them. Anchorage, 50% of the people in that little gray thing right there, 50% of the people in Alaska live right here. 50%. That's pretty hard to even imagine. That's not even the capital. The capital, see if I can get it up in here. It's a little bit hard to find. Does anyone but me know the name of the capital of? Juneau is the name of the capital. It's cut up in one of these here. Every bump you see here on the Pacific Ocean floor is a volcano. I don't know what the heck this is. And when we see tracks everywhere, and I mean that, tracks. This looks like just two videos taken apart together, but there's going to be other places that don't look like that. And that looks like these are all volcanic ridges, every one of them. If you go a little bit further south, there's going to be tracks, and I'm not quite sure. These are volcanic ranges here. See the track here? See the track here? It's a huge track here. I don't know what caused it. They're all over the globe, underwater tracks, and they would be so large that, well, very large. It's the fire map for Canada with all the cold weather and, well, ice and snow and rain. We have no fires, according to the Canadian government, which is what this is, currently active. No fires whatsoever. Now, we all know the Hughes incident is active in Malibu. I think it's 20,000 acres now. They do have it mostly contained. I think these are contained here. No, only 80. The Palisades fire is still only 85% contained, but it's not burning like it used to. Then we have the Eaton incident, still 14,000. So real quick there, we have 60,000 acres that have been burnt. These are all homes. Border 2 incident, right? And then when we zoom in, we start seeing the fires from today. They're going to all be in orange and red. New fires that started today in LA. This is in Palmdale, or the Valley, Lancaster and Palmdale. And the reason you always see earthquakes on the fault where the goofball shows you, it's because this right here, if you see it, and I can turn it on. Let me turn it on. It's the wrong program. I can't turn it. It's the Garlock fault. The Garlock fault actually comes through here, and because the San Andreas or North American plate boundary, it stops right in here and picks up right about here again, and it's going to be what's called the Walker Lane plate boundary. The Sierra Nevada will be your new West Coast eventually. It's already taken on 40% of the weight of everything coming off the Pacific. That is Long Valley Caldera. That is Lake Tahoe. New fire. I hate when they burn my woods. See if there's anything else worth mentioning here. They should have had enough rain, and they have had enough rain to keep all that quiet. See what that fire looks like. It's the Green River Caldera contained. We'll go jump over to Boston. But before we do, look at all the fires that are still fighting here. The ones that are in red and white, they're still burning from yesterday or day before. The new ones from the last 24 hours are in yellow and red. So they're going to eventually burn it all down, right? Did you hear Trump? Trump got on video tonight and said it looked like, and he said something hit it. He goes, y'all all know what I'm thinking. It looked like something hit it. He was talking about some sort of weapon hit it. And my guess, I want to say China, Russia. But you know what? Every time I look at everything, it's always Biden, Obama. The same group of thugs, Oprah, that have been doing it all along. Now, what are you talking about, Lois? Oh, I appreciate someone buying a cup of coffee. Let me put that, please, guys. That was the first cup of coffee we've gotten in 5 or 6 days. It is so sad. Please help the channel out. Lois, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't been watching the chat. The cables are cut. Now we have actually... we've actually got a bunch of patrol boats out there now. Both the UK does, the US does. Bering Sea, those cables, they were all cut. They're still not, one of them still, the main two are still not repaired. All right, let's jump over to Boston. And let's just see if there's a firebug in Boston. Looking pretty good. Getting lots of rain up there in Boston. I did see a fire, but there's no, and you would think if you go into a shithole, excuse me, Mike Johnson, there's a new fire in the thicket down there, a couple of them. It's going to be, I believe in Mississippi, right? Right on the border, Louisiana, Mississippi, whatever. Nothing substantial whatsoever. But regularly, you would think if you go into a shithole, like, let's say Houston, it's a shithole, right? I'm about to show you all my plantation. Magnolia Park Road. I know I'm damn close. We have 2 now. We're blessed. Look at all these fires that someone started here. We're blessed to be able to buy them back from the state that took them from us. All right, that's the Sabine Reservoir. Wow. These are all fires that are out. OUT around H-Town. Oh, that's Lufkin. Wow. Unbelievable. They act fast around here because this is what we call the big thicket. Houston's going to be down here. There's no firebugs in Houston. Nothing, man. Not a single fire. Anytime you hear a fire engine, it's after some old person is having a heart attack. But there are tons of fires here. This is the big thicket. See it? I never have seen anything like this in the big thicket. Ever, ever, ever. Very, very dangerous. We are receiving rain right now, which is a good thing. Look at the air quality. We can see it going through the big thicket there. And then look at the eastern seaboard up to Boston where they have them all turned off. Again, as always, I don't understand what you're talking about. Tiff, are we still live? Let's say hi to you guys. Someone, please, buy me a cup of coffee. No super chats, no coffee in 5 days. It's kind of like Miss Teresa. We're in mourning. I've been mourning all week. I know Jared's mourning still. No one knows what to do. I love Miss Amy, but you know what? I used to talk to Miss Teresa several times a day, and she would always turn us on to some of the best stories that the channel got. I'm going to try to be honest with you guys. These are deadly. Just 10 parts per million is deadly, but 176 is more than deadly. So we've got some bad air condition here, air quality here, and then we have some stuff turned off here. This is all going to be on the, well, right there where all the volcanoes are spewing into the valley here. A really strong one there. Up into Washington State, we must have a fire. Look at this, 134. That air quality that's going to be right around this. And we did, look, this is a volcano right here, Everett volcano, and this is a volcano here too. So let's hope that these are, look, there's Mount Rainier right there. If we zoom in a little bit, we should be able to see Mount Hood and Mount St. Helens should be Rainier. St. Helens should be right here. And, well, look at the air quality around Seattle, how terrible it is. I think these are volcanoes awakening. I just don't know what could cause that bad of air quality if they weren't. And that runs all the way up into this magma flow. You can see the magma and where the volcanoes are. This isn't like a really hard game to play. We can all see it's hundreds of miles wide here. And it goes, well, into the central part of the U.S. Looking down at Guadalajara. I'm surprised the U.S. has sensors down there. Now, I'm not quite sure what's causing that either. We do have volcanoes on the right. We do have volcanoes on the left of me. Here I am. I'm watching you, Amy. Don't worry. All right, we're going to run through some PM 2.5 real quick. I want y'all to see, first off, the San Francisco, San Jose area is just getting walloped. And we're going to run it through. Even Catalina Island is a volcano here. Hey! The room lights up red if y'all buy me a cup of coffee. I tried to get your name to come on the deal, but I'm going to have to get my friend over here, a little bit higher pay grade. He works for Oracle, right? The AI guys. He's their top developer. At least I'll always know what's happening. Look at this PM 2.5 tomorrow. This is tomorrow. Wow, what is this line here? What is this line here? 36, 37? What is the line? Is that a river? There's something going on here. This is Huntsville, where NASA is located. I don't know if there's a leaking nuclear facility here or what, but that's NASA's main headquarters there. And we can see that's just about the center of this crap. Y'all have to tell me what's going on there. I don't know a lot about that area. Same up in DC. If this went up to 10 trillion, we'd all be happy, right? In DC, it's only at 25, but just 10 nanograms per meter cubed increases your lung cancer percentage by 36%, according to WHO and the International Research Association on Cancer. Well, let's see what we've got going, because I hear we have another cold front coming. Got something hitting Oregon and California over here. Hopefully it'll blow those fires out, right? Our friends from Ireland and the UK have been shouting out. They sent me pictures. They're getting hammered. They sent me pictures, and look, it's spinning like a subtropical low. Everything in the northern hemisphere is spinning the wrong way for winter. Should always be spinning clockwise if it's a high. But these aren't highs. I don't know if the earth is flipped 45%. Look, over 100 mile per hour winds up here. Still spinning counterclockwise. This coming off the northeast. It just smothered Tiffin them. Spinning northeast. Guys, this is a shit show for sure, okay? Y'all get ready to rumble. Want to go through temps with you guys? We got negative temps all through negative 14 in Colorado. Negative, that's Wyoming, excuse me. Idaho, Montana, is that going to be, let's see, Oklahoma, Kansas, that's going to be Nebraska. Oh, pardon me, Nebraska. I'm going to put this in motion. Amy, we're watching. Put this in motion. We were supposed to get another push here. Let's see if it does it. See how much she's got. Give her all she's got, Captain. Clean sweep, I see you now. Maybe we're not going to get hit down south. I heard we were, but let's give this another day or two. Looks like this might be the big push here. Nope. We might be getting back to more regular situation here. I call this a regular situation because this is regularly what I've seen in my 57 years. All right, right now we've got all those winter warnings, and is it air quality or air stagnation advisories, or is it dense fog? Let's see what it is. I think it's dense fog. Air stagnation advisory. That cannot be any good whatsoever. I thought it was going to be dense fog. That's bad news. What's the light blue? Cold weather advisory. We got you. These are winter snow, winter weather. So what's the brown? Wind advisory. High wind warnings. Just what we needed. We're going to move the whole show to northern. Now, we do have a 3-day forecast for you, but before we do that, we're going to actually read a chapter from the Bible, guys. We do it every night around this time, and we have a friend of ours, Amy, helping us with it right now, and whenever she gets a chance, she'll call in and regularly we let the person reading decide on what to read, unless there's some kind of special request or a death, or we need to all say a prayer. Because I think there's a lot of magic. Because I think there's a lot of magic in allowing the person actually reading the gospel to be selecting the verse. James Kaufman, World News Report today. Who am I speaking with?
Amy, how are you, James?
Miss Amy, how are you?
Good.
Been another long day. You okay?
1 Corinthians chapter 5 for you tonight.
Yes, ma'am. See if I can get that right first. I'm the worst speller.
Corinthians.
1 Corinthians, and you said?
Chapter 5.
5.
Yeah, we're going to be preaching to the fornicators tonight.
Well, we're going to do what, ma'am?
It's about preaching to the fornicators.
Oh, and that's a lot of these people. I see this whole U.S. has somehow been just taken away by these people, and I don't know how. I was at work paying taxes when that happened. I mean, I think most of us were just trying to get by, and we didn't realize that all the positions in government, state, local, federal, were being taken by people that I consider bad news. Bad news.
Hey, I'd take one of those staffer jobs, $200,000 a year. I'll take it.
It's 174. All the staffers got a raise via they voted the Congress. They actually make more than the Congress people by like $1,000 because, quote unquote, they have to live there, and DC's expensive. And well, I know it's expensive, but $174,000 for that little 20-year-old girl, and she hasn't been to work since 2019, and she's complaining.
I saw that.
She's complaining about
childcare.
Well, she really wasn't. She doesn't have any children. And she doesn't even have a commute. She was just complaining.
She's going to have to go in.
That she was going to have to go in. That was it. The 5-day work week. That was an executive order that was signed yesterday by Trump. If you're not in by the 10th for a 5-day work week from henceforth, you're fired. That was the EO. I loved it. And
they're giving them to February 10th. It's not like, okay, next week show up.
Oh, God, anyone else would say, we'll see you on Monday or you're fired. I mean, that's how the private job. I said, go get a private job. See how that goes for you.
Right.
So imagine, guys, she's been sitting there for 5.5, 6 years, sucking up a paycheck. It doesn't look like she's done a damn thing. She couldn't be but 25. Imagine. And every one of the staffers, remember we found out there was 31,000 staffers. And that's spread through all of Congress, including the House of Representatives. And
don't the congressmen get 3 to 4 staffers each one?
Oh, no, ma'am. They have, if you'll just look it up, they have groups of 50 and 60.
Each one?
Each one of them. They're the ones that reads the bills.
Yeah, I know they read them.
I don't think they read them. But you also have to realize that these U.S. representatives and congressmen, I've got 3 House representatives around me with offices with full staffs because we have such dense population here. They've got staff down here making that kind of money because they have offices wherever they're elected and offices in D.C. But most of the D.C. staffs are between 40 and 60, and it's kind of up to them at some level. But they did altogether, the Congress and House of Representatives, I believe the number was, and I will look it up after we do this, 174 something is what their raise was. And they said, hey, it's expensive to live in D.C., and I will say, yes, it definitely is. But these are mostly rich children anyway. That's how they got the job. And my sentiments are, I want to know what we're getting for our 174.
I know.
I could get like 6 people working for that, man, doing some real work. Give me a whip.
Right?
All right, let me see if I'm where you are. Dealing with a case of incest. Is that where you are?
Well, mine says fornication.
Okay. Well,
It is reported commonly that there is fornication among you, and such fornication as is not so much as named among the Gentiles, that one should have his father's wife. And ye are puffed up, and have not rather mourned that he hath done this deed might be taken away from among you. For I verily, as absent in the body, but present in spirit, have judged already, as though I were present, concerning him that hath so done this deed. In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, when ye are gathered together in my spirit with the power of our Lord Jesus Christ, to deliver such up one unto Satan for the destruction of the flesh, that the spirit may be saved in the day of the Lord Jesus. Your glorying is not good. Know ye not that a little leaven leaveth the whole lump? Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Christ our Passover is sacrificed for us. Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice or wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. I wrote unto you an epistle not to company with fornicators, yet not altogether with the fornicators of this world, or with the covetous, or extortioners, or idolaters, for then ye must needs go out in the world. For now I have written unto you not to keep company, if any man is called a brother, be a fornicator, or covetous, or an idolater, or a railer, or a drunkard, or an extortioner. With such a one, no, not to eat. For what have I to do with judge them also that ye are without? Do not judge them that are within, but them they are without God judgeth. Therefore, put away from among yourselves that wicked person.
all right. Amen. And mine's a little bit different. That's why I wasn't expel the wicked person from among you. So everything's a little bit different. But I did want to ask you, you read so well. And, I went to law school. Can I ask if it doesn't matter if you went to school or not, really. Maybe you're just a great reader, but I found out the only people I would ever hire, and I've hired probably over 1,200 full-time workers in my life, I'd only hire attorneys because they seem to be the only ones that could read.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a bachelor's degree in something, or?
No, I wanted to be a chemist, or like a person that worked at DC in the crime lab whenever I was in college.
Right.
And I couldn't pass calculus 2 because math was like a second. It was really foreign to me.
I got you.
I made a C in Calc 1, but Calc 2, I really had trouble with it. Plus, I had a Japanese teacher, and she would say things like 8 is bigger than 0, and she would type like really quick, and I couldn't get her notes down quick enough. And she'd just erase them, dude. That was fast.
So listen to this. I was on full scholarship, and I had to make all A's pretty much all 7 or 8 years, undergraduate Loyola and graduate school. And he failed everyone in calculus 2, 100% of us. Even though I said, sir, I have a B. I'm the only passing person here. He said, y'all are all failed. Y'all are failed. And somehow they worked it out with my scholarship and stuff. And we all had to take the class over from him. And he was obviously terrible. Your whole class doesn't fail. I had a B when he failed everyone. He just did it because he was a awful Jesuit. He's a Jesuit. I was at Loyola. He's being a Jesuit. I'll never forget it because
I'm a practical person. If you can tell me how to use it, then I'm good with it. So once I figured out like the area under curve, like how you use it, like you would inject a solution into a machine and it would give you 3 curves, and that would tell you like how much of each element was in a solution. So you'd, find the area under the curve to find out how much of each element there was in the solution. And dude, I could do that all day long once you told me how I could use it.
Yeah, you're more of a, like me, show me, and I'll redo it.
I'll nail it.
But you know what? My teachers always told me that I'd never have a calculator handy, and I've got this thing called an iPhone in my hand right now, and it does more than a calculator. It's even got Chat GTP. Google says they're losing 15 to 20% of inquiries on Google because people just ask their phones now. Siri doesn't do Chat GTP. It throws up articles if it's a complex question. If it's easy, like the weather, it'll actually say it. But if it's a complex question, it shows you 5 or 6 things you can choose from, and they're all from Google. Everything's from Google, pretty much. Google admitted 20% of their searches have gone bye-bye because now ChatGTP just became non-free for everyone, even the 0.0. So things might change because people are very, very money poor right now. This is the best way.
I use ChatGPT to write a lot of my commercials.
Okay, what do you do?
I'm in a cleaning company.
All right, so
I clean residential. I do post-construction. I do 70 Airbnbs.
You're not going to believe this, but I actually I've done it all, a cleaning company. And we did industrial and office buildings. And it was when I was about 19. I had about 15 people working for me. We would break so many vacuums and so much shit would happen.
I break a lot of vacuums, yeah.
I mean, but it was great money. And then it just became overwhelming. And for me, there were a few better options at the time. But so I know where you come from. That means you go to work around 4:30 when everyone's getting off, and you work till 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and then they get back to a pretty office. Or a lot of times, again, we were doing industrial too.
Well, my work hours are like from like 9:30 to like sometimes. The other day I did a Airbnb that had a fire in it, and I worked 12 hours straight on that one. Just on one house.
I am looking for I have like 129 guns, a bunch of priceless knives. I'm looking for a maid right now, and I just can't trust anyone. The last one was the very best maid I've ever had. She was the best cleaner, and it was my fault that I left one of these knives under my bed, and she hit it with a vacuum. I heard her hit it, and she got all scared. It was a $200 knife, but I wasn't going to hold it against her. She just didn't know me, right?
Yeah.
And so she's...
I feel weird when people leave loaded guns laying out of the house.
Well, I mean, I've got one to my right, my Glock. I've got one on the side of my bed stool, my CZ PO7. I've got a bathroom gun.
You don't think somebody's coming to get you, do you, James?
Well, you haven't seen the other 15,000 videos that made me erase. That's...
I hope nobody does anything to you.
Well, hey, you know,